I was driving from Flagstaff to LA, doing the trip solo after visiting a friend. I left late. Bad idea, I know, but I figured I'd knock out a few hours, maybe crash at a rest stop or cheap motel if I got tired. Around 1:45 a.m., I started fading. My eyes were dry, the music wasn't keeping me up, and I kept doing that thing where your head jerks forward and snaps you back to alertness. I told myself I'd stop at the next gas station, fill up, grab a snack, walk around under those weird humming lights to wake myself up. At 2:12 a.m., I pulled into a Chevron, middle of nowhere, surrounded by desert. Just one other car in the lot, some beat-up sedan, no one at the pumps. The building was lit, but I didn't see anyone inside. I figured maybe the cashier was in the back or on break. I parked, left the engine running, dumb, I know, and just leaned back for a second. I meant to check my phone, but I must have closed my eyes. Just for a second. Next thing I remember, I woke up to this sharp cold in the car. The kind of cold that makes your jaw tighten. The driver's side door was open, wide open, and my phone was face up on the floor. The headlights were still on. The gas station looked the same, except the sedan was gone. I picked up my phone. 3:41 a.m. My stomach dropped. That stretch of time, between 2:12 and 3:41, is completely blank. Not a haze, not fuzzy, just missing. Like I fell through a trap door in my own memory. I wasn't groggy like I'd slept. My body felt used, like I'd been moving, doing things. I checked the doors, everything locked except the one next to me. Back seat was empty, nothing looked out of place. Except the passenger seat was reclined all the way back. I hadn't touched it, and the inside smelled like dirt. Damp earth. It wasn't there before. It filled the car like it had been sealed in, like someone had tracked in wet soil and it had sat, stewing in the heat. But the ground outside was bone dry. I told myself maybe someone tried to rob me and left when they saw I had nothing worth stealing. But I still had my wallet, my phone. Even the cash in the glove compartment I forgot was there. Nothing missing, nothing added. Still, I got out and filled up quickly. When I went inside to pay, I met the cashier. Young guy, maybe early 20s. Looked startled when I walked in. "You already paid for gas," he said. I told him I hadn't. He pointed at the register. "Pump 3. Prepaid. $30, like half an hour ago." I looked at the screen. $30. Paid at 3:07 a.m. I didn't have a receipt. Didn't remember taking my card out. But I checked my bank app anyway. Sure enough, $30 processed at 3:08 a.m. I asked if he'd seen me come in. He hesitated, then said, "Yeah, you were acting kinda weird." That's all he gave me. I drove the rest of the way to LA with all the windows down, even though it was freezing. I wanted the cold. I needed to feel like I was awake. When I got to my apartment, I stripped the car down, checked under the seats, in the trunk, everywhere. Nothing. The smell of dirt was gone. The passenger seat was upright again. That should have made me feel better. It didn't. Then, about 4 days later, I opened my voice memos app by accident while trying to record something for work. And there it was. A file I didn't recognize. No title. Just a timestamp. 3:27 a.m. The night at the gas station. It's 26 seconds long. I didn't make it. I didn't press record, and I was alone. I didn't want to listen to it. I thought about deleting it maybe, but I didn't. Something stopped me. I should have deleted it. The first sound is wind. It's faint, but persistent, dry and desolate. Then gravel underfoot. Slow, deliberate crunching, like someone pacing around, careful not to make any noise. But there's a tension in the sound, something dragging at the air. The steps are measured, each one following the other, just enough to make me feel like I'm being watched. Then a voice. Not mine. It's low, male, gravelly, like it's barely forcing its way through a throat that's been clenched for too long. It's close, but not too close. like it's hovering just behind me, almost casual, as if it's talking to me without really expecting a reply. If you stop, it'll find you this time. A chill runs through me. That phrase sticks. It'll find you. What's it? What does it mean? I try to push the thought away. The voice is wrong. It feels like a ghost, but not one that's passed on. It feels like something is here breathing through the cracks of the night. Then, my voice. Not confused, not afraid. Almost mechanical, like I've said it 100 times before. Don't stop the car this time. I don't even sound like me. Like I'm on autopilot. I don't know what it is, but it's starting to feel like I'm being led somewhere. Told what to do. Like I've been here before. In the same place. Over and over. The next sound is the engine starting. Not from inside the car, either. It's not a muffled start through the mic, but something from outside. Like it's been captured as the engine roars back to life, clear and loud. A harsh grrr followed by the deep hum of the motor in motion. I wasn't moving. I was asleep. I swear to God, I was asleep. The recording cuts off abruptly. No goodbye, no warning, just silence. The app going dead. And I'm left holding my phone, wondering if I've just seen something, or if I'm just losing my mind. I haven't deleted the file. I don't know why. Maybe I'm waiting to hear something I missed. Or maybe I just need to know which voice was mine. I don't usually post on here, but something happened last week that I can't stop thinking about. It's probably nothing. That's what I keep telling myself. But I figure if anyone would understand, it's you guys. I moved into my apartment about a month ago. It's nothing fancy. Small place above a hardware store. Quiet neighborhood. Which was exactly what I needed after the breakup. Too many shared memories in the last place. This one felt like a fresh start. I work nights, bartender at a place downtown, so I usually get home around 3:30 in the morning. I make some tea, unwind, then crash by 4 o'clock. That's when it started. The first night I was just about to fall asleep when I heard it. Music. Faint, like it was playing through a wall. Soft piano, just a few slow notes, played in this weird, deliberate rhythm. I figured maybe it was a neighbor's alarm or some weird commercial playing on a TV. It stopped after about a minute, and I forgot about it. But the next night, same thing. I checked the time. 4:17 a.m. By the third night, I was getting annoyed. It was always the exact same notes, the exact same time. Like it was on a timer. I walked around the apartment, pressed my ear to the walls, checked the vents, nothing. Sounded like it was everywhere and nowhere at the same time. Just floating. I knocked on my neighbor's door the next morning. The guy upstairs said he stays at his girlfriend's during the week. The couple across the hall are both deaf. Didn't even hear me knocking at first. Landlord swore the building didn't have any intercom music or background systems that could be triggering. By the fourth night, I was ready. Sat up in bed, phone in hand, recording app open. At 4:17, it started. Soft, slow piano. I let it play, hand shaking a little, then hit stop. I played it back first thing in the morning. The music was there, but it sounded wrong. Muffled, like it was coming through water. And just as it faded out, I heard something else. A voice. A whisper. It said my name. I told myself it was my imagination, so I sent the file to a friend. No context, just asked if he heard anything weird. He texted back, "Why did you add that whisper at the end? That's seriously creepy." That was the first night I didn't sleep. The second night, I played music loudly through headphones at 4 a.m. to drown it out. Still heard it, faint, just beneath the bass, like it was crawling underneath the sound. I even pulled my bed away from the walls, slept on the floor in the living room, tried earplugs, slept with the lights on. Nothing worked. I bought a cheap white noise machine off Amazon. It arrived the next day. I turned it up as high as it could go, static blasting like a waterfall. That night the music still came through, and the voice was louder. I brought it up to the landlord again, asked to check the wiring, the walls, anything. He looked at me like I was cracked. Then, kind of reluctantly, he said something weird. Asked if I'd heard what people used to say about that closet. Apparently the last tenant moved out in a hurry. Complained of noises and voices. Said the closet door would be just a little more open each morning, like it had been touched but not quite shut again. I chalked that up to bad hinges. Mine creaked whenever I opened it. But after what he said, I started watching it. Sure enough, each night after the music, I'd find the door slightly more open than I remembered leaving it. Just an inch, then 2, then wide enough to see into the dark. That's when I left. Slept on a friend's couch. No music, no whispers, nothing. I started to relax, told myself it must have been stress or sleep deprivation, or maybe even my own subconscious expectations playing tricks on me. I was almost convinced, until Thursday night. I was halfway through my shift at the bar when my friend Ben, whose couch I was crashing on, texted me a photo. No caption. It was my duffel bag, the one I'd left in my bedroom closet at the apartment, now sitting on his couch. Same bag, same scuffed-up zipper. But I never brought it with me. I called him immediately. He thought I had dropped it off. Said he came home from a late run and it was just there. Door locked. No sign of a break-in. I tried to rationalize it. Maybe he was messing with me. But there were things in that bag no one could have recreated. Inside the side pocket was a little notebook I used for jotting down shift notes and receipts. On the last page, I'd scribbled something dumb a customer said, just a throwaway joke. It wasn't something anyone else would even care to fake, but the note was still there. Written in handwriting that wasn't mine. It was neater, straight, like someone had practiced it. That was when I decided to go back. Just once. I told myself I needed to know how the bag got there. Maybe check for signs someone had been squatting. Maybe grab the rest of my stuff and be done with it. But deep down, I think I just wanted to know if it would happen again. Last night, I broke. I went back. I needed to hear it again, just to prove I wasn't losing my mind. I sat on the couch, lights off, phone recording, staring at the clock. At 4:17, the music started, familiar as ever. But this time, something was different. It wasn't coming from the walls. It wasn't floating. It was coming from the closet across the room. The door was cracked open, just slightly, and I swear I saw something shift in the dark, like movement, like someone taking a step forward. The music stopped, and then came the whisper, not just my name. Come listen closer. I didn't move, couldn't breathe. And then, just barely, I heard it take a breath. I got out of that apartment as fast as I could. Something was in that closet, and I don't want to find out.